Everybody out there in YouTube land, welcome to another episode of the Sidewalk Saint with your host, the brother Phil. Let me close that window. Oh man, I let all the buses catch up with me. You know, get behind the buses and it's like, oh man, so much for getting anywhere. I'll apologize in advance if this video is a little wobbly. My mount that I like to use on the dashboard is currently in another vehicle. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about how amazing divine timing is becoming in my life. How amazing it already is, really. I want to give an example of this to you guys. So let's get started. So I like to wake up every morning and do my clearing, my aligning, and my divine timing. You know, you do it in any format you like. You could use crystals or crystal bowls, singing bowls, or nothing, and just use your hand. I like to wave my hands around. I feel a tremendous amount of energy when I use my hands. I believe there's etheric crystals in your hands that are very powerful. You can prove this theory by just running your hand across your body and getting the goosebumps and stuff. There's a lot of electricity, energy, and power in your hand. We don't have to get too far off track. So I have a friend who does construction and has been learning self-mastery right alongside me, from me, and he's been allowing divine timing, and it's been a bit strange for him. He's had, you know, one of the things that one of the examples of the divine timing for him that he could say is he's been paying his employees quite a bit more money. In fact, he's instructed on how much to give them, which is a windfall for these little worker guys out there. And he's been following it, and he's told me that somehow he has more money. He's giving out more to his employees as instructed, and he has more money at the end of jobs and over the period of a month's pay period for him. So that was an interesting example. And he's like, I don't know how I have more, I just do. And so that's good, because the divine timing, well, I think what it's doing there is it wants equal exchange. So if your guy's doing all your working and you're mostly just doing the little tinker stuff because you're the boss, you got to pay him a little more, even though you get a lot more still, because you're the one that created the situation that there would even be money to get and brought the job to the table. So it's still a fair exchange in that way. I feel the same way about things like that. I used to before the state destroyed my company and drugged me through the glass with my fly-on zip. Sorry, everyone's a little hectic right now. Yeah, I was doing something similar, and I had the same thing happen to me. Yeah, I did have more money, and I was paying my guys more, and it was working out really good as well. Before the state destroyed my company and my life, actually, in fact. Anyways, long story short, let's get to the point, is that the divine timing somehow made it all happen. He was following a more divine route, he's paying his guys more, and he has more money now somehow. It's a very interesting thing. And he said no amount of accounting or bookkeeping that he could do could explain what happened. It wasn't really like a monetary thing even. It was more like something divine was happening. He's like, he didn't know what it was. So yeah, that's cool. Good job, man. And I'm not naming names on that. I don't think it's anybody's business on any media what company is doing things, because the state might decide to go after them too. So we'll keep people safe from the beast that we call our state and our government. But then also, in fact, even wilder, he was telling me just the other day, so he had a job and it was big and he wanted to finish it because there's a ton of money to collect on a big job. And And so what happened is it was raining and he didn't want to work because it was an outside thing for him. And he said that his divine timing like literally told him, said, you're not going to work today. And you know, that's hard to hear the voice and just go with it, because everybody wants to control things the best they can to get the best, highest outcome. But divine timing is all about allowing things to happen around you and not so much to you. Let things happen around you and not to you is one of my favorite mantras. And so to get to the point, he said someone had contacted him that didn't cost a ton of money and would be able to almost complete the job almost for him, so that he could just focus on the little knick-knack stuff and close the job out in one day, in fact, which is amazing by industry standards, so he says. So he just thought that it was amazing that he didn't work that day and actually opened it up free time for all these things he needed to get done that he did get done while it rained. And then he eventually is going to the job now and has the most amazing helper to help him finish the job with absolutely no problems. And even on top of that, he said he had plans later in the night. He didn't want to be too tired. This guy's going to take up the slack, and he's going to have all the energy in the world to go do his thing later on. He just said it just all lines up way too good. And what he's telling me is that this just happens continuously. This is not like a coincidence. It's continuous that these amazing events happen like that. And it's a little weird to slow a job or stop a job and come back later. But he does it and he follows it, and he says it's unreal. It's beyond anything he ever dreamed of, how good it is. And once again, he's coming out on top with more money overall on the jobs, even still paying his guys more. Pretty much pays them what Devine, I think he said it's like his voice. He says he's got two voices. There's the quiet one and the loud one. The loud one messes everything up. He believes that's his ego, and the quiet one always is his intuition guiding him to the best outcome. So that's what he's telling me. Yeah, so that's cool. That is so cool that things are lining up like you can't even believe it. He says it's just everything. Absolutely everything is like this. And I feel the same thing is happening to me. Not so much on a work thing, but just in my life and having money when I got a lot going on right now. I got a lot of unbelievable bills to pay, and somehow I have enough. I've always got more than enough to really enjoy my life even still too. And it seems like the more generous I am and the more I align with that inner voice, which is really, I think that inner intuition is you being guided by yourself. When I say that, I mean it's your higher self. It's just, hey, your higher self's a very beautiful and exceptional creature, probably like a Pleiadian star mother would just tell you about how beautiful the universe is when you ask her any questions, and it just only has good things to say and only wants your best, highest outcome. And it's like literally a life coach. My divine timing just makes me, I can't believe it. I mean, I just can't believe it. I'm speechless all day as things go on. As long as I see it happening, and I know that it happens when I don't always see it. I wish I could see it every time, because then I would just stop and do a great gratitude mantra. And ladies and gentlemen, pull out those gratitude mantras just to let you know. When you have gratitude overwhelming from your body with love combined, it lets the universe know that you're ready for more. So you want more, don't you? More money, more this, more that. And when you're doing that, you're letting the universe know, hey, I'm ready for more. Bring it. And remember this also, do not do it because you know you're going to get more. That does not work. You just got to have real, genuine, love-filled gratitude. It cannot be, oh yeah, I'm gonna have some gratitude and trick the universe. It knows, dude. It knows, do that. It knows. It's you can't do it. Genuine gratitude, overwhelming gratitude coming out of your heart chakra, firing off to the cosmos in gratitude to all of existence, to making your life much better, much more beautiful, much more fluid, and much more amazing, much more rich, and much more this, and much more that. So that's a big deal. I know I always hit the same keys, and I'm almost a broken record in what I say. So it's gotten to the point now where I just have to talk about life situations, so I can hopefully resonate these it's very basic stuff, right? It's like, if you really think about it, everything is the same poles, two different poles. There's negative and positive poles of the very same thing, in fact. And everything pretty much is just love in action, all the way up to, someone absolutely hating you or attacking you, which is the negative extreme of love, all the way out to somebody, say somebody, what happened to my uncle. My uncle is kind of a drunkard, crazy guy, but he has a really big heart, He's such an incredible guy when he's not always drunk, and he knows what's good even when he is drunk. My crazy uncle, my crazy Scottish uncle. But long story short, he was taking care of this guy. This I guess this guy was rich, and they were just buddies, drinking buddies, really. For years they had always been, and then the guy was, the guy ended up he was filthy rich at the end of whatever he was doing in his retirement, and he was on his way out, and he was just so glad to have good company and hang out and drink beers and talk about stuff. And they hung out and talked about stuff, and he went and took care of the guy just out of his good free will. He helped the guy all the time. He didn't even need you needed a nurse to come by once in a while, but he pretty much was like, he helped the guy out constantly. Just helped him out of the goodness of his heart. And to unfold the story here as quickly as possible, the guy died and gave him everything. I guess the fella didn't even have a family, and that was hence the reason he needed my uncle to help him out. And my uncle just did that of his free volition. Hell, all they did was party and drink until the guy passed. I'm like, hey man, where's my rich guy that I can go party with until he passes and get millions of bucks, right? Everybody's saying that. But anyways, it was out of the goodness of his heart, and he did it, and he got, a house that was worth like $1.5 million, and this guy was a World War, he collected World War stuff, like, guns and airplane parts and really rare stuff. He had crazy stuff, like signed by like famous pilots and stuff like that. Just unreal stuff they would literally just go directly into a museum. And my uncle got all of it. I, in fact, actually, long story longer, he got me a 1894 Winchester rifle in fully used condition. It was exactly the year that Billy the Kid died, was the year that my Winchester was made. It's kind of cool. And he also had an old flintlock pistol that was from like 1676 or something. I don't know. That number's probably not right, by the way. But it's an old Pirates, or just a flintlock pistol. Everybody thinks flintlock pistol pirate, but really everybody had flintlock pistols. From pirates to what would be a cowboy to what would be an Englishman to whatever. They all had them. Everybody had a flintlock back in the day. And so this thing was well used too. Holy crap. People probably died by this pistol. I don't even like to think about that, but it's an amazing pistol with an amazing history. All pieced together with all kinds of worn out flintlock parts. The part where it shot off is like completely a hole now, which means the thing was fired off like pretty regularly. So I'm assuming it was a pirate gun, because I want it to be, because pirates are awesome. They're not really awesome, but some of them were. So anyways, yeah, that was cool. So yeah, that's all I'm saying is these were some good things about divine timing that came through from generosity and allowing things to be guided and listening to that quieter voice, not the loud one. The loud voice is almost always the ego. It's gonna be like, go for it, do it, yeah. But your quiet voice will be like just a quick thing. Like, you got to catch it right as you're thinking the thought, because you'll just be staring at something that will be the answer. Like you'll stare at you'll see a word on a wall, or you'll see a number on a thing, or you'll just think of one thing at the very second you think of it'll come up like immediately the second you think the thought. It'll be like this little tiny quiet thought right there. And you'll be like, oh, there it is. You gotta catch it. Catch that intuition. Catch your intuition and follow it, and find yourself that old guy that you can drink with till he dies, and he gives you a couple $1,000,000 when he passes. Because that's all right. Things done in generosity and just helping someone out, you deserve that kind of stuff. That's great. Good for you. But yeah, take your divine timing and allow it to just unfold your life, and do your best to follow it. You know, if you can't always follow it, it's okay. Do what you got to do. What I like to do is, if I can't follow my divine timing, I like to reach my hand into the timeline. And I mean, you can do it any way you want. And I just flip my hand over and change it to what I need to be. Because sometimes there's just certain things you want to be doing, certain places you got to be, and there's no way you can go the other direction. Because you know your responsibilities, and divine timing will understand. And you're allowed to change your divine timing if you so need to. But don't be doing it for every single event. You can't be doing that. That's not going to work out. You need to follow it as much as you can, and just follow it into an unbelievable gratitude-filled life of just absolute disbelief that it's your life, because that's where it's at for the people that I'm coaching with self-mastery, and for myself. It's like a dream come true. The worry is gone, the stress is gone, the fear is gone, most of the anger and hatred is gone, and it's just, man, I just can't even tell you. It's beyond belief. I'm speechless, and so are my clients and friends. I treat them like friends. So yeah, that's it. Claim your divine timing and have all these amazing things happen to you, and be in disbelief for how great your day is every single day, because that's what Brother Phil wants for you. That's what the cosmos wants for you. That's what God wants for you. That's what Buddha wants for you. Everything in the universe, trees even want it for you, because everything was put here to love us and take care of us. And I'm not saying we're the top of the thing, but that's really what it's all for. It's all here for us. It's not here for us to be irresponsible with, though. Don't if you catch my drift. But do your best, and do your most best to be happy, because remember my last message, you know, they need us to just have a great life. And, you know, hey, what better thing can we be commanded to do, you know? A lot of stuff has been twisted and broken in the past. Bad ideas, and we're not worthy, and we're born in sin, and that's all just BS. Although I respect other people's opinions if they don't believe what I believe. But it is. You're not born dirty. Your baby doesn't come out of you and you don't decide the first time it burns its hand that it's no good and throw it in the trash and send it to hell. Now do you? And we're a reflection of God now, aren't we? So I think it's irrefutable that the parent energy of taking care of the child to the end, and doing anything that could be done, upwards of even dying, because we're so devoted to our children, doing anything we can do to make our kids' lives good. So we reflect God in that. And so reflect God in that, because that's a beautiful thing for our little dudes and little dudettes out there that we love so much. Love you guys a lot. Sorry this went so long, and I hope you enjoy. We'll see you on the next one.